Oh, how fun it would be if magic was real. Let's believe magic is real for a moment and see 10 anime where overpowered protagonists end up going to a magic school or academy. Let's kick things off with Unlimited Fafnir. You might be surprised to hear that the very first entry on our list is one by none other than a harem anime. However, it's safe to say that as an experience, Unlimited Fafnir is a very noteworthy anime for its premise and execution. The story takes place around Midgar, an all-girls academy that trains a group of exclusive power holders simply known as Ds. It is said that the girls started gaining these powers ever since dragons suddenly appeared in their world and disappeared the very next minute. Our main character is Yu, the first male student of Midgar as well as the very first male D in existence. The story will have us watch him as he befriends the girls around him and make amends with the long-separated sister of his that also happens to attend the school. With the looming threat of the powerful dragons on the horizon, the story showcases the path of heroes that aim to stop it. While Unlimited Fafnir uses magical elements to give us quite an interesting premise, this next anime manages to take that and give it some good old-fashioned isekai goodness, and that anime is Full-Time Magister. The story has us follow a high schooler named Mo Fan as he finds himself in a parallel universe where things were similar with some distinct differences compared to how things were back home. One of the biggest changes was the fact that the essence of science was completely taken away, and instead, this world had magic take its place, with capable individuals learning the wonders of spellworking to keep the world safe from beasts that live in the forests around the city. Mo Fan found himself in a similar situation as to how he was back home, as the son of a poor laborer and the older stepbrother to a crippled sister. While these were troublesome disadvantages, he still joins the school in order to make things better. He eventually uncovers that he not only has the ability to handle the powerful fire element, but also the lightning element as well. With the rare ability to use dual elements, we get to see his journey. Both the entries that we just covered showcase the story that is considerably lighthearted. However, Quality Code is anything but lighthearted. The story takes place in a world where humanity was suddenly ambushed by aliens known as unknowns, and in order to save Japan's population, all of Japan's children were cryogenically frozen till the end of the conflict. After the fighting was over and humanity had a foothold, the children were unfrozen, just for the survivors to realize that the children all had developed powers mysteriously. The 6 most powerful children were given the opportunity to command the reclaimed city. The story has us follow 6 capable kids as they oversee Tokyo, Chiba, and Kanagawa. The segregation caused quite a bit of conflict and rivalries. However, they had to learn how to work together in order not to perish under the pressure of constant attacks from the unknown, and for humanity to keep holding on to the foothold that they fought so hard for. Quality Code infused all the elements from the previous movies, yet made us follow politics between nations all shared amongst those gifted children. While all the previous entries have been somewhat serious, our next entry takes a bit of a more lighthearted approach. Rei Kenzan is an anime held in a fictional setting modeled after the 9 provinces of Kyushu. It is set in a prophecy that a world-ending event was set to happen, where falling comets would signal ruin within the spiritual state of the heavens and the physical state of the lands, paving the way to an age of chaos. However, the comets passed the world with no harm taking place. However, while the comets were passing, a little boy named Oriku was born in a remote village of the Sokai region. 12 years pass as the Rikenzan clan, which was one of the 5 supreme clans of Kyushu, held an examination in order to choose talented people to be disciples that trained to become sages. This news causes Oriku and his servant Ocho to head toward the exam, only to later find out that the organizer, Obu, was a bit of a ditzy individual even though her elegant looks said otherwise, causing the trials to be unpredictable. We follow Oriku as he faces his trials and eventually becomes a powerful sage. A lot of what happens in this anime is comedic and lighthearted, yet it still manages to hold on with a good premise. However, the anime Meihao Senso decides to add quite a bit of complexity within the magic anime genre with all that it has to offer. The story has us follow Takashi Nanase, as this kind act of saving an unconscious girl while he was heading home after kendo practice would end up being the cause for the girl to accidentally turn him into a magic user as well, revealing to Takashi that all along he has only lived in half of the story that the world had to offer. It was revealed to him that there was an entire world of magic users that wanted to coexist with humans. The girl that he saved, Moai Aiba, is a magician from the Subaru Magic Academy along with her 2 friends Furumi and Kazumi. Takashi enrolls in the academy with them as they learn how to use their powers and fight off the Ghost Trailers, a group of magic users that are willing to use their gift to establish their superiority over humankind. The story makes us follow Takashi and his friends as they train hard and attempt to bring down the leader of the Ghost Trailers, all for the sake of not letting another great magic war happen. Animes like this do usually give off an empowering vibe. The next anime on our list, however, manages to add a few elements of women power elements in its story as well. Little Witch Academia is set in a world where witches exist. The world-renowned witch Shiny Chariot was the idol of many witches growing up, yet the opinions the young witches had on her changed over time. While it was the cool thing to hate on Shiny Chariot, the ordinary girl Atsuko Kagari held on to her admiration as she enrolled into Luna Nova Magical School in order to be an idol just like Shiny Chariot one day. While academy life was tiresome and boring, soon she gets an opportunity to prove herself, as she was the only one in the position to stop a rampaging dragon before it wreaks havoc within the academy. Such a lighthearted premise is definitely a breath of fresh air in this list. Yet the next anime, Seikokai no Dragonar, takes us back to familiar grounds. This anime has us follow Ash Blake, a first-year student from the Ansaravan Dragonair Academy. While most students can easily tame dragons and ride them, Ash was unfortunate enough to be marked as a future dragon master, yet have nothing to show for it, since his dragon never appeared. This caused him to be branded as the laughingstock of the school, with most calling him the #1 problem child. However, one day, the tides turn for Ash when his dragon appears out of nowhere. It was unlike any dragon anyone had ever seen, since it took the form of a beautiful girl. What made things worse for Ash is that the dragon suddenly proclaimed that she was the master in the relationship and he was the servant. Ash's problems with dragon riding were just about to get a bit more complicated. It's safe to say that almost every entry that we covered had magic school elements involved in it. However, the next entry on our list, 07 Ghost, takes more of a military approach. This anime is set in a fictional land known as the Barsberg Empire, and the focus is set on its military academy, well known for producing elites that ensure victory for the Empire. The students of this academy have the ability to use a special ability named Xiaphon in order to fight efficiently. The plot is centralized around Taito Klein, a promising student at the academy. Even though everyone ridicules him for being a slave with no memories of his past, however, he makes a friend named Mikage, and they face the final exam together. Things take a turn as Tito was locked away awaiting punishment for the failed assassination attempt of a high-ranking official who killed his father. It was not the end for him, however, as his new friend Mikage helps him break out as Tito runs away and hides among the bishops, as he strives to rediscover his memories and learn who he was meant to be. The military premise is a breath of fresh air, and keeping with that theme, Unbreakable Machine Doll also manages to provide us the same experience with a lot more added to it. The premise is set in the Walpurgis Royal Academy of Machine Art, founded with the development of machine art itself. The place trains skilled puppeteers that have the ability to control automatons in order to take place in the armies for glory. The story has us follow Reishin Akabane and his humanoid automaton, Yaya, as they work hard and make their way to the army and claim the title of Wise Men. While the premise may sound simple, the anime's intense execution alone makes it a worthwhile watch. However, anime with magic academies usually manage to scratch the itch, while Misfit of Demon King Academy manages to scratch the itch while providing the masses with a power fantasy that they will not forget for quite some time. The premise is set in a post-war world as the world was recovering from the gruesome conflict that happened between humans and demons, all brought to a stop by the Demon King Anos Voldegod, who gave his life to be reborn into a peaceful future. However, when he eventually came back, he found out that an academy named Demon King Academy was made for his honor, yet they were confused as to the identity of Anos Voldegod himself. He joins the academy in order to make things right, reclaim his identity, and to show the world that the powerful Demon King is finally back. Let's just say there is a good reason as to why this anime is #1 on our list. With that, we've reached the end of this video. Do tell us in the comments below what you think about all this. If you want us to make more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.